getting spun around, and then the cars or trucks coming up behind him, and you see the massive damage to the 8 of Chase Montgomery.
He's moving around also in the truck, so that's a great sign. This was really reminiscent of the crash we had at Atlanta with Tina Gordon, Hank Parker Jr., and Rick Crawford. A truck sitting almost stationary in the backstretch, and these trucks coming along at probably 90 to 100 miles an hour and running into them, making some hard contact.
Steve Park in the 62.
A victim
again.
For the 4th consecutive race, Steve Park has been run into on this racetrack.
Let's take another look at how our 12th caution has come out today in Ohio.
I think Bill Lester's going to got a little help getting turned around there. He wasn't quite able to keep it on the bottom of the race. Look, they're 3-4 wide there. Carl tried to avoid him, and 2 trucks had nowhere to go. The 31 of Joe Aramendia, it looked like Chase Montgomery in the 8 truck, had nowhere to go, ran into the side of him. There's Steve there. That's the 78 of Charlie Bradbury. Turn around, and Steve, again, nowhere to go, a victim of circumstances.
Unbelievable, the luck of the Orleans 62.
Another look there. Looks like maybe Brandon Witt might have gotten the back of Bill, turned him around a little bit. Bill tries to keep the truck down on the bottom of the racetrack and did a pretty good job, but they were 3 and 4 wide coming off of turn 2 there, because the trucks that saw Bill spin backed off, and that just allowed all the trucks to just get jumbled up there in a big pile.
You remember Sean Parker making the comment earlier to Ted Musgrave, we don't want to be in the back because we don't want to get caught in something like this. And so the red flag has come out as the safety crews are attending to the problems on the backstretch.
There's quite a bit of debris on the backstretch there because there's so many trucks that made some hard contact with each other. So they need to take time, clean the racetrack up. We want no flat tires, so we have a good almost 20 laps of good hard green flag racing for the win.
Here are the trucks that were involved in this one. Chase Montgomery, Bill Lester again spinning out of turn 2, coming to a stop, and then nowhere to go for Chase Montgomery and Joe Aramendia. Steve Park and Charlie Bradbury getting caught up in this as well. Ray?
Well, Rick, I'm down here with Crew Chief Danny Rollins, Crew Chief for Bobby Hamilton. You guys pitted at lap 150. I was a little bit surprised. Did you know that Bobby was going to be able to get back up through this traffic?
Well, I mean, I got faith in Bobby. You know, the Squirty Dodge running pretty good today. We had some tire issue yesterday in practice, so I just wanted to make sure we're going to have it again. So good thing we did. We're showing a little bit of blister on the right front, so there ain't no way we could have made it all the way. So
got enough time to win it?
I think so. I'd probably bet a little bit on it.
Okay. Well, he's got faith in his driver, like he said. Wendy?
Well, we're trying to check in with Crew Chief Danny Gill in the 46, but actually, guys, he's taken off. I think he went to go find some things up on the back side of the track. So when we see Danny Gill, we'll let you know.
Well, Danny Gill might be doing the same thing Gene Need did from last short track race, and they ended up winning. So maybe Danny Gill's walking off to try to stay away from people.
I don't know what he's looking for because he's not going to make any more pit stops.
Yeah.
So all he can do is hope that Dennis is able to get by Jack Sprague for the win. But they've had a great run all day. Jack Sprague, Dennis Setzer, Terry Cook done a terrific job with the oldest tires in the field right now. And that's one of his crew guys right there, one of Danny Gill's crew guys.
Yeah, we've found Gene Need before. We can find Danny Gill. Don't worry. And by the way, it's a smaller track than Martinsville, so we'll keep our eye out for him. But let's get you caught up on what has taken place today. Again, this is the first time the Craftsman Truck Series has ever been to Mansfield Motorsports Speedway. We've had 12 cautions. This is our 12th. Ray, what's going on?
Well, we want to take a real close look at the number 16 truck, guys. If you can get a camera on that and zoom in there and check on his tires, because Jack Sprague just said on the radio a moment ago on that last restart he was extremely loose off of the corner. So they're wondering whether or not there's a chance that they may be losing air pressure on a tire on the 16 because he was so doggone loose coming off. This red flag is certainly not going to help him.
Yeah, the sun's popped out too, so the track temperature has gone up, so that would probably make these trucks a lot looser than they have been. I know they were loose this morning, a lot looser than they were last Friday with a green racetrack. But as somebody was telling us earlier, they hoped the clouds would come back because the truck did better in a cloudy condition, but the sun is out again right now.
And as Ray predicted before the race started, there was going to be accidents at this track. And so far we've had 12 cautions come out. let's take a look at some of those cautions. The first one, David Rudeman getting to come out, and then Bill Lester again spinning around and bringing out the red flag this time because more trucks were caught up in that caution. Wendy?
Well, we did find Danny Gill finally. Danny, where did you go on this red flag?
I just went over on back straightaway, checked, make sure everybody was okay. Maybe make a deal or two with somebody out there. I tell you what, Team Chevrolet has come in here and done what they need to do. We've really been working together the past couple of months. They've hired engineers, they've hired shock specialists. Chevrolet's doing everything they can to make Silverado what it is, the best truck. It's been like a rock all day.
Dennis Setzer's a good driver to have at this short track. Do you have what it takes to win today?
Well, we were running Jack back down there a little bit. He might be getting a little tight in the center. It's going to be a good race to the end. We'll focus on the big picture here, make sure we at least have them two Chevrolets come across start-finish line. Hopefully 46 will be first.
How has the sun affected your truck when the sun came out about 50, 70 laps ago?
That's been the big problem. We had a really good truck there in the early part of the race, and, you know, we based our pit strategy on cloudy conditions, and as that sun's come out, the track's lost a lot of grip, and we've hurt the left rear tire now, spinning the tire up off the corner. That RCR horsepower is something else that's really hard to hook up.
All right, that's Danny Gill. Let me know who else I need to wrestle down over here in the pits, guys.
Well, Wendy Norris has done a great job of finding Danny Gill. And those of you tuning in for the AMA Superbike from Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama, don't worry, you're not going to miss any of the action. They'll wait for the conclusion of this race before they get underway. So we're under 20 laps to go in this one. We'll be getting underway as soon as they get the track cleaned up, but don't worry about any miss or any action being missed in that AMA Superbike race from Birmingham, Alabama. We'll bring that to you live as soon as this race is concluded. We are under red flag conditions at lap 231, and this is why. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series live on Speed. We are under red flag conditions. The 12th caution came out at lap 230, and that was because Bill Lester got spun around coming out of turn number 2, and a few other trucks were caught up in that. Let's take a look at this caution. Bill Lester in the 22 on the inside of the track gets sideways.
Gets really pushed around by Brendan Witt. Tries to keep down, but they get 3-4 wide behind him. Trucks trying to go everywhere, just trying to avoid this situation, and some hard contact from Joe Aramendia and Chase Montgomery.
Like you mentioned, on the straightaways, these trucks are getting upwards of 115, 120 miles an hour.
There's the contact right there. So trying to stay on the bottom of the racetrack, and the truck just eases up a little bit. But again, by this time, they're 3-4 wide, just trying to avoid him because of the trucks that saw it originally slowing down. So that just allowed the trucks behind him to get beside those trucks, so that made it 3-4 wide. And this racetrack is not all that wide.
No, and the luck of the Orleans 62 and the Orleans casino, obviously hoping for, you know, luck as far as with the casino business, but they have, in the racing business, have had no luck this year because Steve Park just caught up in another incident.
You know, last year with Brendan Gaughan, they hardly had any bad luck until the very final race at Homestead when they got taken out in an accident, not of their making, as they were the point leader coming in. They had hardly any bad luck. But here they are this year, and poor Steve can't catch a break for anything. He's run well in each and every race and has no good finishes to show for it, hardly.
Steve Park started in the, I believe, 4th position because of points and getting caught up in this last accident, and so they are out of the race. Wendy?
Well, we were sitting here with Wally Rogers, crew chief of Matt Crafton. Actually, funny story, Matt just called Wally on the radio, and he said, hold on, guys, I'm going to keep my radio off. I'm doing an interview.
Yeah, you know, it's been a while since we've got an interview, but, you know, the Jim Goodwrench Silverado's been real good all day. We were a little free. Once that sun came out, it kind of hurt us. A little bit starting in the back, so we kind of had to play a little different strategy. If I'd have got him right on that first stop, you know, we could have probably stayed out and made it the rest of the way, but it still wasn't good enough, and we really wanted to win this race bad.
You sit 8th. Are you trying for a top 5 at least?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think a top 5 is achievable. I mean, it's kind of up to Matt right now. It depends upon how bad he wants it.
All right, that's Wally Rogers. Let's go to our Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Wendy. And Chase Montgomery has come out of the infield care center. Man, what a hit you had out there. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Car's hurt. It's unfortunate. I mean, because we've got about 10 guys out there racing smart and then another 30-something idiots. So, yeah, I mean, it just happens. We're short track racing, and we're 3-4 wide coming off of 2, and that's just not what you do at a half-mile racetrack. But, you know, it's unfortunate. We were in position to move up in some points, but you know, we'll just go to Charlotte and get them there.
Okay, the Spitzer Dodge is slammed. They are out of the race, and hopefully Steve Park will be out here soon. We'll check in with him. But it sounds like the trucks are firing back up, so we may be losing the red flag here, guys.
Mike Dolan positioned in front of Jack Sprague, and they begin to roll down the backstretch ever so slowly. Those of you tuned in for the AMA Superbike race from Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama, you're going to receive a bonus. You're going to watch the end of a great Craftsman Truck Series race, and you're not going to miss a second of the AMA Superbike race in Birmingham, Alabama. That will be shown to you in its entirety at the conclusion of this race.
Terrific drama in here in the Craftsman Truck Series. We've got Jack Sprague, who led so much of this race. Bobby Hamilton seemed to have the dominant truck, but he's mired right now back and forth. He's got Dennis Setzer in second, Terry Cook in third right behind him. David Starr, great run in fifth. Tracy Hines could be a career best finish for him right now, currently in sixth, along with Brandon Witt, who's in seventh, which would be his best career finish.
Ray, what's going on?
Steve Park has come out of the infield care center. Steve, I'll tell you what, I've said the if it ain't for bad luck song before, but man, this has certainly been your season.
I tell you what, man, I don't know what I need to do to get our luck turned around a little bit, but the Orleans Dodge was running great. I mean, we pitted early for tires, we were right on schedule, the truck was handling great, and you know, every time a caution comes out, they keep putting lap cars up on the inside, and when it gets late in the race like that, guys are pushing hard to get to the front, and they're splitting people 3 wide, and you know, we get a melee like we saw there in the back. So just want to thank the Orleans, Dodge, Jeff Weiler himself. He's here today. Will Roeder and their whole association with us here in Ohio, and Mansfield Motorsports Park. They've done a fantastic job for us to come here and race for the first time. And I was impressed with the racetrack. Just didn't want to end like this. So I know Mr. Collins at home. Just want to say hello to him, and we're sorry this had happened.
Okay, good luck at Charlotte. Steve Park, also another truck that's out of the race.
Thursday at 7 p.m. on Speed Channel, tune in to Chop, Cut, Rebuild. Hands-on look at the world of auto restoration and customizing. Each episode follows the journey of 4 unique vehicles from barnyard strays to showroom queens. Thursday at 7 p.m. only on Speed Channel.
There aren't too many showroom queens out here on this racetrack right now.
Not anymore.
There's been a lot of beating and banging and rubbing on this racetrack. Hardly anybody is exempt. Wendy, who do you have down there?
Well, Jerry Cook, crew chief from Tracy Hines. What has Tracy been saying on the radio?
Well, we got run into on a caution earlier, got a left front flat, knocked the toe out a little bit. The thing's been tight all race. And with that rated out qualifying and all, we started 36, kind of been fighting track position all day. It's been our enemy, but we got ourselves committed to staying out there right now. Toes out a little bit. We're out, some pretty used tires, but Tracy's been on the wheel all day. He hasn't given up on us. And sitting 6, I think we still got a shot at the top 5.
What did he say during that red flag?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said, what did he say during the red flag about the restart?
He's a little nervous. I mean, we got some trucks behind us on fresher tires. He was wanting to go, single file restart there after 10 to go, but looks like we're going to have a double file restart here, but he'll hang tough. We'll be fine.
Okay, let's go to Rick Allen.
Well, thank you, Wendy. Jack Sprague, Dennis Setzer, Terry Cook, and the also quick Bobby Hamilton, sitting in 4th in the Square D number 4.
Bobby Hamilton sitting in that Square D Dodge right now saying, I need laps. Give us 1 to go so we can go back to racing. We don't need to run around under these caution laps. I've got to get racing, try to pass these trucks.
This race has been so exciting, but I think what's even better is that we've had over 20,000 people be able to witness this in person here at Mansfield. And what a spectacular facility they put together.
And not one of these 20,000 people has left yet. Because there's a lot of fireworks yet to happen here, but Mansfield Speedway, all the officials here have done a terrific job. The first time you expect to have some growing pains, but I haven't seen any of that. The surface has been great. The garage area was terrific, the pits, and all these fans are still right here. And I think they'll be here next year, too.
Oh, I think so, too. And you see the overspill on the grass. You've seen this at racetracks that you've run at, Bill.
Well, you know Bristol Motor Speedway has 160,000 seats. Well, it hasn't always had 160,000 seats. We used to sit on the dirt bank in turn 1 and watch a lot of the races. We would, if I was running the Nextel Cup Series, I would watch the support races or whatever. But now it's 162,000 seats around here, and I have a feeling we sold 20,000 seats for this race so quickly. When we come back, there's going to be more seats here.
Well, I would say they ought to just double it. Make it 40,000 seats.
I think
see how we do then. Yeah, I think it's been spectacular. They've come from all around Ohio and neighboring states to see just a great race in Mansfield, Ohio. And again, a reminder, those of you tuning in for the AMA Superbike race from Barber Motorsports Park, that will be shown in its entirety at the conclusion of this race. We are with 250 laps, we're under 13 laps to go.
We're going to get 1 to go next time by, so we will have about 11 laps of hopefully green flag racing. And as Ray mentioned earlier, we don't, and you mentioned, we do not finish under caution in the Craftsman Truck Series. This race will finish under green.
So the fans that have shown up today will see a fantastic finish.
Andy Houston's going to get the free pass. This is probably about the last free pass we're going to get, because you do not get a free pass in the last 10 laps. So that puts Andy back on the lead lap after all that trouble he had that change of bad shock. He's now back on the lead lap in the 20th position.
And we had talked about Steve Park's bad luck. Andy Houston making his 100th start in the Truck Series did not have the luck that he was hoping for today.
Getting ready for this restart here. A very, very critical restart for Jack Sprague. He's been so good on these restarts. He's got at least a 2-3 truck advantage each time on the restart. Let's see if he can do that. And he needs to clear Jeffrey Bodine, who is the first truck laps down on the inside of the racetrack. He needs to be able to clear him.
Green flag flies, 11 laps to go.
Jack was able to clear Jeffrey Bodine. Here comes Dennis Setzer now. He's able to clear him. Brandon Witt, trouble on Brandon Witt. He was up in the 7th position. He's falling back now, lost several positions.
I believe Brandon Witt scraped the wall. We stay green. Jack Sprague stays out front. Dennis Setzer tries to reel him in. Terry Cook in 3rd. Bobby Hamilton can get by the 10. And he has under 10 laps of racing to go.
Bobby's trying to work the bottom of the racetrack again, just like he did for the entire first third of this race on Jack Sprague, but not able to do it yet. Bobby Hamilton's got better tires than Terry Cook, but not able to make the move. These tires Goodyear brought are so good, they just don't fall off.
David Starr, silently running in 5th position, has had a great race today. Tracy Hines in 6th. Martin McFarland in the 59, a rookie, in 7th position.
Look at that side-by-side battle back there for 5th. Tracy Hines on the inside, able to make the pass on David Starr. Rick Crawford on the inside of Martin McFarland trying to take over. Got a caution flag on the racetrack.
Caution comes out.
Hank Parker Jr. gets turned around on the front stretch, able to get back going. Going to stay on the lead lap.
As we mentioned, the Truck Series will not finish under caution. You will see green-white checkered. So there will be a race to that checkered flag. Jack Sprague, Dennis Setzer currently in the best position to claim that checkered flag. And Jack Sprague hasn't shown so far that he's willing to give up that spot.
And this will be a single file restart. We're inside the last 10 laps of the race. There will be no lap trucks to contend with. Dennis Setzer will have a clean shot at Jack Sprague on this restart. But I think the gamble by Bobby Hamilton to come in and put tires on his truck is not going to work. I do not think he's going to have enough time to get back to the front of this field.
And we thought that was a gamble. Early on, it was so much track position. We were amazed when Bobby Hamilton came in, but almost equally amazed that he's been able to work his way back up to fourth.
Yeah, I was shocked that Bobby came in, and he has done a terrific job to get back to fourth. He has such a good truck, and having more time, he may be able to do more, but this is 250. Look at Matt Crafton. When we talked to Wally Rogers a few minutes ago, this truck looked like it had no damage on it whatsoever, and look at it now. Let's take a look and see how this happened, Rick. This is right on the restart. He got into the 30th. That's what sent Brandon Witt up into the wall here in turn number 1. Tough break for both these guys. Brandon Witt had a 7th place run going, would have been his best career finish. And Matt Crafton also had a good run going. They had a little conversation there coming down right below our broadcast position here. Brandon was not too happy with Matt Crafton.
No.
You get inside of 20 laps to go, and just about, as you mentioned, patience goes out the window.
Yeah, these guys aren't making friends right now. They're out there to win this race or to finish as high as they possibly can.
Here they are. This is turn 4 right here. See, Brandon Witt's going to pull up beside Matt Crafton to let him know that he's not real happy with him. He's saying, Matt, I wish you hadn't done that. But
yeah, Matt, I'm sure got the point.
Yeah, but it wasn't intentional. There's no way it was intentional. Matt just drove down in the corner, got into the back of him a little bit. But again, these drivers are doing all they can do to try to get every position they can get here in the last 15 laps. Ray Dunlap.
Hey, guys, 46 and 16 up front. First of all, let me add on the 46. Dennis Setzer said he's way too tight in the center. He doesn't believe he can beat the 16. 2 or 3 days ago, I asked Jack Sprague what he thinks about green-white checkered because there was some rumor that it may be going away in this series. Sprague said, I really hate them whenever I lose, but I really like them when I win. He said, I've won about 6 of them on a green-white checker. I've only lost 3, so we'll see how that holds up for Sprague today on the green-white checkered finish. Wendy?
Well, Ray, we got more stories on the 10 truck. They are having transmission problems. They have lost third gear. Their spotters are communicating with the 4 truck behind them. He's worried about the restart happening. They're also worried about fuel mileage. If they go over 250 laps, they are not going to make it.
Well, Wes Ward told us earlier that they had an overdrive transmission, so him losing third gear is not as critical as it would be to someone that had a more traditional style transmission. So I don't think that's going to be that critical to Terry Cook. But now if he runs out of fuel, I think you do have to have a little bit of fuel. Hopefully we'll see 1 to go here from NASCAR. We are going to see 1 to go. So it essentially will be a green-white checker. We will go probably 1 lap beyond the prescribed 250 lap distance.
Chris Showalter anxiously awaiting the restart with his truck out in front. Mike Dolan has taken the pace truck into the infield.
It's going to be a 2-lap shootout, Rick, for all the marbles.
Green-white checkered. A great way to finish a great race in Mansfield, Ohio. As they come out of turn number 4, Dennis James will give them the green flag for the final time.
Another good restart by Jack Sprague. Side by side, back for about the 6th position, David Starr and Mark McFarland.
This time by Jack Sprague. 1 to go.
I don't think Dennis is going to have anything for Jack Sprague. He's got about 2 truck lengths to make up. It's not going to happen. It's going to be Jack Sprague, Rick.
3 and 4. Here comes Jack Sprague for win number 24 in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Terry Cook hangs on for a great 3rd place finish. Bobby Hamilton 4th. Tracy Hines, best career finish in 5th. And Mark McFarland, a best career finish in 6th. And Jim Harris is Dodge.
Yeah, unbelievable. Jack Sprague started up front because of owner's points and finished up front because of great driving ability. So Jack Sprague claims the UAW GM Ohio 250. The first time ever at Mansfield Motorsports Speedway. 24th win in this series. He knows how to burn them out. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap, who's with Jack Sprague.
And Rick, here's what's so funny about this thing. Jack Sprague won 23 races driving truck number 24. The winningest truck number in this series is 16. And today, Sprague gets his 24th win in number truck 16. Come on out of there, Jack. He did one heck of a burnout out here on the front stretch for these 22,000 fans here at Mansfield. He had the pole today. He elected to go to the outside of the front row. And Jack Sprague, last time, the last time that he was in victory lane, 2001 at Richmond. Here comes Sprague into the crew. A strange start to the season. Man, come on in here. 24 victories, buddy. Congratulations. What a great race today.
That's pretty cool, wasn't it?
That was very cool.
I tell you what, this Chevy truck Chevrolet was like a rock today. I mean, it was awesome. Beginning it was a little bit tight, but I had a great truck Friday, and Dennis got in front of me there. I thought, man, that's going to be hard to pass him because he's pretty good. But, man, I got to thank all my sponsors. I got to look again. Allison Transmissions, Vortec Engine, Articat, Sunoco, Silverado, NASCAR.
That's good to have all them on there.
It's a good thing. It pays the bills, man. XM Radio, Rhodes, Quadrasteer, OnStar.
Were you worried about Hamilton getting tires late in the race?
Yeah, I was worried about that, but I kept watching. He could get a couple spots, and Dave kept telling me, you know, he's having a hard time passing. So, I mean, that was a little scary running 170 laps on tires, but we got beat by that at Martinsville, so we opted to try it. And Dave and Chris made a great call, did a great job. The pit stop was great. These guys worked hard. I mean, it worked. I love it.
All those great races with Hornaday in the 16. What's it like to win in this number?
I knew it was easy to win this number. That was his deal.
Jack Sprague back in victory lane, win number 24 of his career.
Celebration continues. And when a new manufacturer enters NASCAR, people tend to sit up and take notice. So we'd like to continue to shed light on this development with a Toyota Spotlight. Looking at Mike Skinner, had a little bit of a rough day today in the Toyota Tundra 42.
It made a late pit stop, one of the last trucks on the lead lap of the pit. Got caught some trouble. There's some trouble right there. There's Steve Park. That's when he was in that last crash with Bill Lester. But he soldiered on and caught 11th place finish. Not a bad finish, as much trouble as Mike Skinner had.
And so Mike Skinner comes back in the top Toyota finishing position at 11th. Jack Sprague continues to celebrate win 24.
First time ever, Dennis Setzer leads the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series point standings. You couldn't have done it without that second place finish. How do you feel?
Well, that's pretty cool. You know, it's a big step for Morgan Dollar and myself. You know, pretty cool for Silverado to win the race here and take over the points lead. So we're excited about the whole program.
We thought you were going to have something for Jack at the end.
I hope so also. Jack was really good beginning in the race right there and then got really good there at the end. We were pretty good through the middle stages right there. Got by Jack coming up through the traffic and stuff, and unfortunately it didn't work out. You know, our RCR motors, they carried us to the front today, and we'll get the chassis better and help those motors a little bit.
All right, Dennis Setzer, our NASCAR Craftsman point leader. Guys?
Well, let's take a look at that points list in the Ford point standings. Dennis Setzer moves up on top of Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards, a little disappointing finish, finished 17th today, and so he drops to second in the point standings. David Rudeman, very strong in the points run as a rookie, currently in third.
All 10, top 10, inside of 100 points after 4 races. That's pretty incredible.
Travis Quapple with a difficult day today, currently 99 points out of the top spot. It's been a wonderful day in Mansfield, Ohio. We are moving on to Charlotte, North Carolina for the Infineon 200, just 5 days away. That's Friday, this Friday, coming up, 8:30 p.m. Eastern at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
It's going to be a great race under the lights at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Those of you tuning in for the AMA Superbike, live from Birmingham, Alabama, you will not miss 1 second of the action. That will be coming to you just after the conclusion of our post-race show here. Jack Sprague continuing to enjoy the benefits of finishing in the top spot. He's done it 24 times now.